Welcome back to AI Today. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Badeau. We're talking about AI. The great thing that we've done is we've really started to integrate and show folks how it can really be used live, on your different activities, inside of your business, how you can save time and how you can do, a lot of other things with it that, ChatGPT just can't do. And so, I've got a lot of emails, a lot of questions about, what else can we do with AI in our business, or just some general ones around, what are some of the impacts of that. And so I'm lucky enough to have one of our first guests that we had on the show. Jen Gaudet is back with us, and she's going to help us do that. Jen, thanks for being here.
Absolutely a pleasure.
So, Jen, we have seen some negative publicity recently around businesses that have tried to use AI, have not done very well with it. What do you think, from a high level, the biggest reason for that is?
Well, there's a couple of things that I see in failed applications here. The very first and the biggest is they didn't have a strategy to begin with. And by that, it might be they didn't have an overarching business strategy and understanding of what they wanted to achieve with AI. Rather, they just wanted to throw AI at a problem and expected a magical solution. But the reality is if we don't start with a solid business strategy and have an understanding of where we're going, and then look at that strategy and ask ourselves, what operational efficiencies or where do I want to accelerate this or improve this? Either it's time, revenue, human capital, what have you. If we don't have an understanding of the strategy plus what we're trying to improve, then we don't know, and we're basically throwing spaghetti at the wall with an AI application. So it really comes to, we require a strategy first, and it's okay if you don't have that. There are people like myself who do this for clients all day, every day, is establish full business strategy and then also incorporating and marrying the AI strategy to the business strategy, because you have to understand the business use case that you're trying to solve with the application. And the other big problem that I see, Alan, and I know you and I have talked about this before, is they're not set up for success. They don't have great data. They don't have SOPs, or they have outdated SOPs. And let's be real, if we're making an inefficient process more efficient, that's really not going to solve a problem for us.
That's right.
It's outdated. So I think those are the biggest fails that I have personally seen.
So on the flip side of that, though, what are some of the biggest successes that you've gone through with some of your clients? You've been doing this for a while. You've got a fantastic reputation out there. I know your time is in demand all the time from some of these companies. Was it a specific vertical that you were helping somebody with, or was it a specific task? What can you tell some folks that are gonna give them a little bit of confidence that they're on the right path?
Yeah. So as far as industry, I'm fairly industry agnostic, but most of the people I've worked with have been in professional services. Why? Because professional services are very knowledge-based. So think engineering, legal, medical, financial, private equity is a space that I've had some successful integrations in and worked with. And it's that way because we sit down, we understand what are we looking at and what are the bottlenecks in our business. So say you have all the ducks in a row, you have great SOPs, you're totally ready for an integration. It really comes down to what are the bottlenecks in our business and how am I going to reclaim the most time or human capital or improve my bottom line by operational efficiency. Those are the questions that we ask, and we always implement. And the most successful implementations have been the things that free up human capital and time first. And let me tell you why. Because it's counterintuitive. A lot of people want to go for what's going to have the bigger financial bang for your buck. However, Time is money. And if you find an application that's going to free 50%, 70% per employee's time on a task, you are literally multiplying your ability to do volume, whether it's the predictions and the financial piece of private equity and being able to source and sort through deals and screen them much more rapidly, or whether you're in medical and you're saving time and getting that yes, that pre-authorization or whatever you need on the billing side more effective, efficiently. I mean, we had a medical practice with 17 clinics that integrated that whole clinician practitioner to submission of insurance and was able to save 7 FTEs across their clinics. And instead of having to hire and train, now he was able to put those people, he was able to promote them and put them in other growth phases of the business. So that's really where we've seen the success. It truly is a per business use case scenario, and it comes from understanding where you are, where your bottlenecks are, and then also we like to say, what are the next 3 bottlenecks that occur when you integrate this? Because a lot of good it does to pour leads into a business if you don't have anybody to sell. So that's kind of how we approach it, and we look at it and we solve for not just that bottleneck, but the next 2 or 3 down the line, so we have a successful flow, input and exhaust.
Yeah, that's great. I think one of the other challenges too, and it's great that you are also a coach, right? Because there are human aspects that owners, that business investors have to face when it comes to using AI, integrating it the right way, making sure they don't micromanage the AI because you're going to spend twice as much time then as you did before. So what kind of advice do you have for business owners when they are really going to take that plunge and jump into it?
Well, the first part and the biggest mistake that I have seen that you can easily mitigate is the top dictating it and not communicating with the end users. You have to get the messaging across and be transparent that this is the direction you're moving in, and mitigate fears of your team members who are going to be leveraging the tool. And if that doesn't happen, 100% of the time, it's cost more time, more money, and sometimes been a failed integration. So getting buy-in for the people who are going to leverage the tool is key. And this requires open, transparent conversation, and a lot of times bringing someone else in, because fear is the biggest hurdle. And let's be real. I have people do a self-assessment and say, does your team come to you vulnerably and openly all the time with all of their concerns? And the answer for most managers and leaders is no, because they're afraid they're going to lose their job. And even though we don't retaliate or whatever, there's always a little bit of fear there. So bringing someone outside, whether it's myself or someone else in during this process, can be invaluable, because you get that objective perspective and you're removed as the leader. You get the real nitty gritty of what the fears are, the apprehensions, and what level your team is from a skill set, and what training will be needed for a successful integration. So I think that's a consideration to definitely play into. And then the other thing is, we have a lot of fear as entrepreneurs because AI is new in small business, relatively speaking. And so there's a lot of concerns, and that requires letting go, which is already the hardest thing for entrepreneurs to let go. But
that's right.
Letting go of control. And 9 times out of 10, an excellent coach can help you with that. It's a mindset shift. And if you're struggling with that, or you're feeling like you want to micromanage, as you said before, Alan, it's time to get someone in to help you overcome whatever is causing you to have that iron grip and that micromanaging aspect.
Yeah, that's a great perspective on that, because we see that all the time. You forget about the human aspect of these things because you think that the AI is just going to be able to do it, and it's going to be fantastic, and it will be if folks do it the right way. So that's an important thing for everybody to keep in mind, as they're really trying to gain that strategic advantage over their competitors. Jen, where's the best place for folks to be able to get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. I recommend, if you're looking for more business, I have a show here on this network. It is Power CEOs. We air on Mondays, I believe 5 Central Time. You can check me on that, but it's Now Media. And we interview leaders and industry leaders and bring real business content. And you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's Jen Gaudet. You'll see me on there. I am responsive. I am the only one who holds the keys to that DM as well. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation.
Yeah, and I really encourage our audience to go out and look because Jen is extraordinarily active. I don't know how she has that much time to really pull that off, but great material that she puts out there all the time. Very knowledgeable in this space, and you can gain so much from that. With that, thank you, Jen, for joining the show. And with that, we'll go to a commercial break.